What's up, good people? I hope you're doing extremely well. Welcome to another Wealth and Wellness, where we explore the connection between wellness and building wealth. In this episode, we're going to be talking about being prepared for life. Being prepared for life. Now, this is something that's been bothering me for quite some time. I think it's something that's probably bothering other people as well. So I wanted to talk about it today. And that is that, it seems like people are not really prepared for life. We're not really prepared. We go through our lives trying to achieve things, trying to, find out how to be a better person, trying to find out how to fulfill our lives in whatever capacity. And it seems a lot of times that we are not prepared for what is actually happening to us in life. And I want to talk about why first. I want to talk about how we get to this point and what we can do about it. So first off, I think one of the things that really happens to most of us is that we learn how to live and how to conduct ourselves in life at a very young age. And we may learn that from our parents. We may learn that from, situations, our communities, what have you. And we really take on a lot of characteristics that are being poured into us. And sometimes those things are good. Sometimes those things are bad. But what I find is that they always have an effect that puts us in a place where we are out of control of our lives once we get to a point where we really start to make decisions about what we want to do in life. We're kind of thrown into a situation where we really don't know what to do. And not to say that we have to always know what to do, because, finding your way is a part of the journey, of course, and that's a part of the fun of life, being immersed in the journey and, discovering new things and discovering what life is all about. But what I find is that the way we are learning there's something wrong with the way we are learning, because we're being taught to essentially be slaves to whatever is going on in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of people may, see this differently, but it seems like we are really taught to just conform to certain things that are not always beneficial for where we want to go and what we want to achieve in life. Because on one hand, we're given this picture of, get a good education, get a good job, and being able to buy all of these things that are supposed to give us worth. And then on the other hand, there is this lack of understanding of how to actually get there and get there quickly. So we tend to toil in this space of trying to achieve this standard of living, or this standard that has been presented to us as where we're supposed to be going. And we're not really ever getting there. Most people work their entire lives trying to achieve these things that they never achieve. And, that's just the reality. That's just the reality. And on the other hand, you have people who, hit the ground running and are not subscribing to this kind of conformity of education, and they're able to do all the things that they want to do in life. So why is that? Why do we have this great divide between what our understandings are in terms of how to really achieve success, whether that be, financial success or financial freedom, or, just being able to sustain ourselves in a normal capacity in life? I think it really comes down to our understanding of survival in a lot of ways, because we're taught to just survive situations, and taught to, if you do this, this is going to hurt you. If you do this, this is going to elevate you. But a lot of times we're taught around fear. We're taught to fear situations, and fear is healthy. You should have a healthy fear of certain things in life, because certain things can hurt you, especially as a child. If you are in environments that are dangerous, you want to be aware of those things, and you want children to be aware of those things. But I think what I'm speaking about is there's a lot of emotional fear that is taught at an early age, and we carry that through our lives. We carry that emotional fear, and it puts us in a situation where we can't elevate beyond certain levels of thinking. And I think that's the real tragedy. When we start to really unravel the mystery of what's happening, we are stuck in certain ways of thinking because we're afraid of anything else. And, that's a really hard place to be in when you are being bombarded with the alternative of, no, you should be striving for this, or you should be able to achieve this, or you should be, working towards all of these things. It's such a contradiction when you are at the core taught that you should be afraid of success or afraid of, really venturing out and achieving certain things. When that's your core, it's nearly impossible to elevate to those other things. So I think we have to start chipping away at that and tearing that down at large, and starting early to instill the notion of not fear, but actually being prepared for life itself. And I think that's something that, we can do. It's something that is possible. You can say, you can be prepared for life by doing these things, and not from a fear perspective, but just the real understanding of what it's going to take to be prepared. And, when I think about it, now that I'm actually saying it, I think that is one of the main problems too. It's like the blind leading the blind. A lot of times we are being taught by people who aren't prepared themselves, and not to take anything away from, our educators, because they are a valued resource in our lives. But it seems that our systems of education are flawed in a lot of ways, in that we're being taught a lot of things that really don't move the needle in our lives. We're being taught a lot of things that really don't matter. And it would really help to really evaluate those things and chip away at those things, do away with those things, and replace them with things that actually matter and that are actually going to help people move forward in whatever things they want to do in their lives. All the things we want to achieve in life, from, being better at our health or being better in our finances, all those things are stemming from how we learn and how we are able to educate ourselves to do those specific things. So if we're not educated, if we're not learning those things, if we're not learning how to do those things at an early age and being stepped through those processes along the way, then we're not going to get it. It becomes harder. It becomes harder once you get out into the world and you have to be thrown into those situations where you need that knowledge, to use that knowledge to do all of those things, and it's not there. It's not there. So everything you're learning, it's like it's counterintuitive, it's counterproductive to what we really need to understand. And that's kind of the mystery. Is that what is truly desired? Is that what is truly desired? I know it's desired on an individual level. I know people want to, achieve things. People want to be great at themselves in life. But I don't always feel like our communities and our societies, the way they're structured, really nurtures that. Now, I know people aren't perfect. People are not perfect, and we're not going to ever be at a point of perfection. So that's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think that we can definitely improve our preparedness for life in a lot of ways, And I think, one of the main ways is that we need to be emotionally intelligent so that we can interact with each other on a better level and really cope with situations that are going to happen in life, because situations happen. Things happen in life all the time that are adverse. We're always going through something that is not what we're used to, or, being thrown into situations where we have to react and act and think soundly about what is coming or what is happening. And if we're not emotionally intelligent, those situations become catastrophic. So we need to add these things to our basic skills that we're learning. We're learning all of these basic skills in these educational environments that are supposed to be preparing us for the world we're going to go into. But it seems like more and more, the real core of what we need is missing, and we need to implement those things, if not in our education systems, just as we are doing right now. We need to do it ourselves, because it seems like, at large, we're not going to be given those tools. And they are tools. They are the tools that we need to be prepared for life. Tell me your thoughts about this in the comments below. I hope this has been extremely helpful for someone. And until we talk again, I wish you health, wealth, and freedom.